Ethiopia has inaugurated Africa's largest hydroelectric project. The $5 billion Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the symbol of the country's pride and a means to address its energy shortages. But Egypt calls it an existential threat. There's another dispute brewing, this time between Ethiopia and Eritrea. The Ethiopian government's attempt to seek direct access to the Red Sea has met with opposition from Eritrea, which gained independence from Ethiopia in 1993 after a 30-year-long armed struggle. Aman Kumar Himanshu reports on the spectre of water wars in the Horn of Africa.
In the heart of East Africa, where the Nile River begins its timeless journey, a new force has risen. On 9th September, Ethiopia inaugurated Africa's largest dam that promises to boost its own economy and that of its neighbors and also put an end to frequent outages. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who was joined by the leaders of Kenya, Somalia and Djibouti for a ceremony, says that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is the biggest achievement in the history of black people.
Photos, videos and words do not do the GERD justice. Only those who see it in person can understand its worth. I hope and pray that this generation comes to see the dam, and I invite all black people to do the same. It alone demonstrates that we as black people can achieve anything we plan. It's the biggest achievement in the history of black people.
Kenya's President William Ruto in turn said that he is ready to sign a power purchase agreement to take benefit from the mega dam.
We are ready to sign a power purchase agreement so that we can take some of the power from this important dam. Reliability is especially critical for special economic zones, industrial parks, ICT hubs, and agro-processing facilities, all of which require consistent and affordable power to drive Kenya's development agenda.
The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is built on the Blue Nile, a tributary of the Nile River. The dam is one of the biggest projects in Ethiopia's history. It is 170 meters high and stretches nearly 2 kilometers. Constructed by an Italian company, this mega structure can hold a staggering 74 billion cubic meters of water and generate more than 5,000 megawatts of electricity, more than double the country's current capacity. Work on the $5 billion project began in 2011 after 6 out of the 10 Nile Basin countries signed an agreement on sharing of the river waters in 2010. But Egypt and Sudan rejected the deal. The two downstream countries feared that the dam would threaten their annual allocation of 55.5 billion cubic meters for Egypt and 18.5 billion cubic meters for Sudan. Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa. 1/3 of its population lives below the poverty line. The World Bank says that nearly half the population of Ethiopia has no access to electricity. Ethiopia maintains that the dam has the potential to light up East Africa and fuel economies. The dam could supply millions more with power, both in Ethiopia and through power deals with neighboring countries. Prime Minister Abiy says that the dam will eventually generate $1 billion in revenue per year. Ethiopia would also get to earn foreign exchange by exporting electricity to countries in its neighborhood. The dam could also boost Ethiopia's industrial production and accelerate a shift towards electric vehicles. But not everybody is happy with the dam. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has long been a cause of tensions between Ethiopia and Egypt, and to some degree, Sudan. Years of negotiations have failed to produce an agreement on how the three countries will share the water from the river. The dam has the potential to benefit the entire region, but at present, it looks like yet another threat to stability in the Horn of Africa, which is already suffering from multiple conflicts. Egypt receives little to no rainfall. It relies on the Nile for 97% of its water needs. President Al-Sisi calls it an existential threat and fears for Egypt's water security. Egypt, which built its own Aswan High Dam on the Nile in the 1960s, fears that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam could restrict water supply during a drought. In a letter to the UN Security Council, Egypt described the inauguration of the dam as a unilateral act that breaks international law. However, Ethiopia has been filling the reservoir in phases since 2020, arguing that it would not significantly harm the downstream countries. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says that the dam would bring prosperity to the region, not hurt it.
To our brothers in the downstream, to our Nubian brothers, and to our Misri brothers, who are worried out of innocent concerns, Ethiopia built the Renaissance Dam to prosper and to enlighten the region, never to hurt it, brothers. I would like to confirm to you in front of the Ethiopian people that we will never retain your fair share of the water at any point.
Ethiopia, meanwhile, has pivoted its attention to another goal, that of regaining access to the Red Sea. This goal is deeply rooted in history and national identity. Ethiopia once had a vital coastline along the Red Sea, providing crucial access to maritime trade routes and international markets. But in 1993, when Eritrea gained independence after decades of struggle, Ethiopia lost its coastal territory and became a landlocked country. Recently, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said that giving up the Red Sea was a mistake that will be corrected. His remarks could heighten Ethiopia's tensions with Somalia, Egypt, and Eritrea. Eritrea condemned Abiy Ahmed's rhetoric, calling it a threat to its sovereignty and a poisonous territorial agenda. The rift between Ethiopia and Eritrea comes at a time of escalating regional tensions. Egypt has deployed troops to Somalia as part of a peacekeeping mission aimed at stabilizing the country. But Ethiopia views the move with suspicion. Recently, Ethiopia's ambassador to Somalia warned that the presence of Egyptian troops could create political and strategic challenges to the 4,000 Ethiopian soldiers already operating in Somalia. Egypt dismissed the claims, saying that its forces were endorsed by the African Union Peace and the Security Council. For its part, Somalia's defense minister welcomed Egypt's support, saying that his country will no longer wait for external approval to engage with other countries. The deepening partnership between Somalia and Egypt represents a strategic change for Ethiopia on multiple fronts. It risks creating a regional bloc that challenges Ethiopia's ambitions and fueling the water wars in the Horn of Africa. Aman Kumar Himanshu's report for DD India.